actually follow myself, this footage is from about 2004, 2005. Cutting my teeth on filming beaver over here in Pennsylvania. And I think you're going to enjoy the show a lot. Pretty much my methods today are the same they were almost 20 years ago. Whether it be a scent mound or a bait set or putting a 330 body gripper in, it really hasn't changed much. You're looking for sign, and you know, while I was editing this footage, getting these shows together, it really brought back a lot of memories and really kind of rejuvenated my fire for the outdoors. I've been doing this for about 20 years now, and being able to bring these classics to you is very humbling. And one of the first shows that we're doing here on the classics is one of my favorite things to do, and that's chase the beaver. So let's head out there on my line right now. Where we're at here, we're on a very large waterway here in north central Pennsylvania. It's pretty chilly today, but a lot of ice floating down the Susquehanna River. And we're here where a tributary runs in. There's beaver sign all the way up and down along here. I've had 2 scent mounds in here for about 4 or 5 days now. And the first night, the trap was off. I don't think I pinched the beaver, but what I think I got him under the underfoot, and I may have educated him. So those 2 sets are down around this turn, and I see some cutting in here in the little back eddies here the last 3 or 4 nights. So I know they're coming in here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a set where no lure, no scent mound, and I'm gonna use bait only. Call this a bait set. This is a set that we've taken a lot of beaver in over the years when we've felt that they were maybe trap or lure shy. We've used a bait set, and we have a good success with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the construction of that, and we'll go from there. First, I'm going to get all my materials together, my drowning bag, my wire, my trap, and my stake, and then I'll come back and do the construction of the set. Now that we got our bag full of the rocks, got our wire all set up, got our trap and our Berkshire disposable stake in the ground for our upper anchor, I'm gonna just throw this bag here out into the deep water. Whoa. All right. Now we got our drowning bag. Got our drowning bag out there, and what I've done here, if you can see, is I've cut a little eddy out. I've cut a little eddy out, and I'm gonna take my bait sticks, and I'm gonna put these sticks in here. I'm gonna chew them up a little bit with my hatchet, but I'm gonna have these sticks in here just like that, with the bottoms, you know, chewed up a little bit to have a little cast off on the white. And what that's going to do is just give me eye appeal for this beaver. So if any beaver come up out of this bigger river up into this smaller tributary, they're going to see these white sticks, come over to investigate, maybe think that it's a free meal, have a little smorgasbord here with their trees. But that's how we're going to just make this set. It's very simple. The bag, like I said, the wire, the trap, the stake for the upper anchor, and our bait. And that's all it's going to be. There's going to be no lure, no big eye appeal like where they're out on the bank or whatever. But we're just going to use these trees as our only lure, which is not really lure. It's just more or less eye appeal. So I'm just going to shade these trees up a little. You can see how white that gets them. Makes them look like a fresh chewed stick from a beaver. Get that one. There's another one. Doesn't take much. You don't have to be perfect. Just get that bark off. Get it whitened up so they'll be able to see it if they come up in here. Here's a little bigger one. Another thing I'd like to say with this, don't use too small a stick. It doesn't matter, you know, you don't have to use a 5-inch tree or whatever, but a nice stick, maybe quarter size, you know, nickel to quarter size, that's plenty big enough. Because that's the kind of sticks they're gonna eat anyway. You see where they chew on bigger trees and stuff, but if they have the opportunity, they're gonna cake them smaller sticks. They're easier to chew off, get them down, and they're easier to scrape the bark off of those trees. So you wanna have something that not only is inviting to the beaver taste-wise, but you wanna have something that's easy for him also. I'm just gonna take these sticks, put them one by one right into this corner, or this little eddy I cut out. Now there's still a lot of good fresh bait on there that those beavers can chew on, and they'll be able to tell that too. Maybe put a couple to where you don't have to have all the white facing straight out either. You may turn this one where the white's facing up the stream, so it may catch out of the corner of his eye, or this one over here turn this way if he's coming up this way and catch it out of the corner of his eye. But once those sticks are in there, I like to, you see how they're a little flimsy? The sticks are a little flimsy, so what I like to do, cut that piece of wire off. I'll take my wire and I'll wrap it around these trees nice and loose. They don't have to be tight. But what that does now is give me some stability to keep those in there. Now they're all gonna stay in that one group right there. That's just a little thing that you can do, and that'll keep them in place. And if there's any beaver coming up through this little waterway here, they're gonna see that and come over. Now just trap placement. I'm just gonna place my trap here. As I've probably said many times before, I like to set for a front foot. So I'm gonna get my trap right up there about as close as I can to that. Get that good set for the front foot to where he's gonna come up. Right there, come up and take a peek, get him in a front foot. If I do happen to catch him in a back foot, I do have the drowning bag deep enough in the water to where I know he won't be able to get some air. And that's one big thing you have to always remember. Make sure that drowning bag is deep enough. You don't want to come and have a live beaver, because more often than not, if you have a live beaver, they're not gonna be here, they're gonna twist off. And that set right there is pretty much done now. Very simple setup, very quick to put in. You can put these sets in less than 5 minutes. And this set's gonna take a beaver for us. I know, there's no doubt in my mind that if one comes up by here, he's gonna come check this bait out. We got a good eye appeal, we got good sticks, and I'm pretty excited. Hopefully we'll have one here tomorrow to show you.
Castor canadensis is found throughout most all of North America as well as Russia. The beaver is the largest rodent in the U.S., and they will normally weigh 40 to 50 pounds. They have many unique characteristics such as their webbed hind feet, closable nostrils, closable ears, and transparent eye membranes, which all aid in their ability to swim underwater. The beaver can also remain submerged for over 20 minutes on one breath of air. They also have very large teeth, which aid in the cutting of trees and bark, which is their main food source. The teeth will grow throughout the beaver's lifetime, and they need to be ground down by chewing or grinding, or they will eventually grow into the beaver's skull. Their main diet will consist of willow, maple, poplar, and birch, with their favorite being the bark from the aspen tree. Beavers usually live in family groups of 8 to 12, which are named colonies. They will live in lodges, bank dens, and root systems, and the dams that they build are extremely beneficial to the environment for many aquatic organisms by maintaining water levels and controlling flooding and erosion.
All right, what we have here, it was a little hard to film with this back in here, so you have to take my word for it. This right here is a log that the beavers are coming in under to work up in this feed pile here. There's a lot of older white sticks that are chewed. Here's another white stick. but there's a bunch of white sticks up under there, and that hole goes up in under that bag. So I know that those beavers are using this from periods of time, and what I think it is a high water hole. It's supposed to warm up here in the next week, so I think this set may be good for us because there's a lot of snow on the ground, the water levels are going to rise, and those beaver are going to come back up and under here, and I know they're going to go under this log, and we got this Connie right here. What we did, took a 330, you can see our stabilizers right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The two end ones are through the outside hole, and these two middle ones are through the middle jaws to give us some more stabilization. You can use a Connie stabilizer, one of the ones you jam in the ground or whatever, but we use the sticks. It's very simple. I like doing that way, picking off the land and doing that. But it's a very simple set to make. I know the beavers are going to use this, and over time this set's going to take some beaver, especially when the water levels rise. That's one thing that you can do while you're on your trap lines. You pay attention to the signs that the animals are giving you. These beavers, this sign right here just tells me that this is a high water hole. This isn't a den. It's really not even a feed area at this point in time since we have a little lower waters. But this is a high water hole. And I know, I keep that in the back of my mind, make a note of it in my notebook, that when there's gonna be high water, I need to get over to where this creek is, and I need to set this hole, because any beaver that's been through this area knows this hole's here, and they're gonna come back to this hole when the water comes up to give them some shelter. That's one thing you can always do, whether it be mink trapping, muskrats, coon, fox, coyote, beaver. Pay attention to the signs that the animals are giving you, and if you really take notice, they're gonna give you a lot of sign. And this is just one of those instances that I'm using the sign that they give me and remembering it in the back of my mind and coming over and making this set, and hopefully when the water comes up, those beaver haven't been caught somewhere else, because I know they're going to come back to this situation or this location when it comes that time. Well, this puddle here is not a beaver swamp by any means, but the footage that you're seeing here in this show, I filmed. This is actually probably within a month or two of getting my first camera back in 2003. I got that Canon XL1S. I did my research, and I had, you know, big plans, and, you know, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I was out there doing this beaver trapping. You saw I put in a bait set. I wanted to show, I have some caster mounds, but I wanted to show that bait set because that will actually work for you on an educated beaver. But we're going to get back to that towards the end of the show. But, you know, when you're dealing with beaver, they're really fun to trap and they're really fun to catch. And there's very little methods that will take them. Your best beaver lure is going to be just beaver caster mixed with glycerin. You could throw a little bit of beaver sack oil in there, but you're not going to get a better beaver lure on the market. You can try and do things to make it better, but the best lure that you can use when you're out there is going to be straight beaver caster and just mix it with glycerin till it makes a paste. But we're going to get back out there and show you a few more things, and I hope you're enjoying my line back in 2003. We're up here in the Canadian wild. We're on the shore of some lake that overlooks a little eddy over there. It's a pretty big lake. What we have here is an old Indian drum. This thing is, it's an old Indian drum. I don't know if you can see here, but it's hand woven in the back. It's, oh man, I don't know how much time was put into this, but it's got like this old bamboo or something, I don't know. It's probably deer hide or moose hide or something. This is absolutely awesome. This thing is, this is old. The actual thing that it's tied around the tree with, some type of burlap, or not burlap, but some type of deer rawhide, is actually started to embed itself in the tree. The tree is growing around it, which means that it's been here a long time. This is absolutely awesome, and I just had to Had to share this with you up here in the Canadian wild. Pretty awesome. Unbelievable. Well, our guide sticks are gone. Yep, there he is. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, that's a big beaver. That is a big beaver. Hey, you can only fit his head in there. You got both paws in there, too. Boy, that's a monster. Oh. Well, we made this set yesterday. We had some sign down on the big creek. This is a smaller tributary running into Susquehanna River. This feed hole up under here where I thought it wasn't, I was expecting it to be a high water hole where they were going to come up in here when the water came up in the river. They would come up in here for shelter, but obviously they were using this hole a lot more than I had anticipated. And we got ourselves a nice beaver here. That is a big beaver. Boy, that's a monster. Oh, that's a big beaver. Anyway, as I was saying yesterday, watch for your sign. Beavers and any animals in general, but beavers will give you a lot of sign. A lot of white sticks. You know, this feed hole here goes up under there. This isn't a den. This beaver was going in the hole. They're just using this to come in for a little shelter and feeding on. But as you can see, these sets are deadly. When you find these situations, don't pass them up. I'll be surprised if we don't catch one or two more here. Seeing that the first night we caught one, they may be using this more. And every beaver that comes through here knows this hole's here. So, I'm excited. That's a big beaver. I don't like skinning these things, but I ain't gonna mind skinning this one tonight. That's a blanket right there. That is a big beaver.
Mountain Man Bait. Our North American Trapper Mountain Man recipe includes ground Angus, fresh ground prairie dog, rendered prairie dog, and ground poultry in 4 equal parts, making up the majority of this predator bait. We add some other attractive and savory ingredients in this proven recipe, which includes beaver castor, tinctured beaver juice, liquid smoke, and other essentials. This top-grade canine incentive works great for coyote, fox, bobcat, and more. Proven products equals proven conservation. See all of our great wildlife control solutions at NorthAmericanTrapper.com today.
Bait set worked. We made this set 4 days ago. Only bait. Didn't catch a beaver in 2 set mounds down here. And I was thinking, there's the beaver's still around here. So I wanted to put this bait set in, and it connected on the 4th day. So I'm excited. No lure, no smell whatsoever, just basically on sight appeal. And we got this beaver at the bottom of the bag. Let's take a look at him. That's a big beaver. That is a nice beaver right there. Front foot catch. I always set for the front feet. Sometimes you do get them in the back feet, but these traps are strong enough to hold them. He's got his whole front foot in it. Number 3 Duke doing the job again. Boy, that is a nice beaver right there. That's got to weigh 50 pounds. Good 50-pound beaver right there. That'll be a nice blanket for us. Getting back to the set. As I showed you on the tape, this is a very easy constructed set. Bag wire trap, upper anchor with a Berkshire stake, and all I did was shave off these little saplings here, give it a little eye appeal, and that beaver worked right in here. So you don't always need lure, and you don't always need to have the set out there that you think is, you know, can be smelled from a mile away, because a lot of times, even though beaver don't see that well, they will see that white sticks. And you know, another thing they will do, they will smell that bark. And I don't know, I'm excited. That's a big beaver right there. That's the end of the show today. Pretty much showed you what works for me when I'm out there doing some beaver trapping. Whether it be a scent mound or a bait set or a body gripper, you put those traps in the ground where there's sign, and you're going to be successful as well. If you're having a beaver problem or you need any products to go out there and chase them, go to NorthAmericanTrapper.com. We've got pretty much everything that you need to get you started for success while you're out in the field. Proven products equals proven conservation, and we'll see you next time.